Hi everyone! So for today's video, I thought I'd do more of like a chill, chit chat kind of video so you can get to know me better. So I hope you enjoy. Sorry if this video is kind of long, kind of have a lot to say. Hope you enjoy. Let me know if you like this setup as well because I keep changing my mind. I don't know what I like yet, so I'm just gonna keep changing it till something sticks. So if you particularly like this one, let me know in the comments. I advise you to grab something to drink or eat because it's kind of a long video. So I got my smoothie and I got some water. Okay, so the first topic I wanted to touch on was me shaving my hair. So I shaved off all my hair about like a month and a half ago, almost 2 months now. And whoo, have I been through a lot. I wanted to not be so attached to it because before, like right when I shaved my head, I was like super insecure. Like I only felt attractive while wearing makeup and I was just so gloomy all the time and I wanted to like shed that piece of vanity. And hair was something I've always relied on heavily. Like I've dyed it a bunch of times. Not only pros when trying to decide whether I should do it or not. It was kind of an impulsive decision. Like my mom was cutting my little brother's hair and I was like, shave my hair. Like shave it all, because I've been wanting to do this for a really long time and I felt like now is the time, especially since we're in quarantine and I'm not really gonna see anybody. So when I first did it, it took a while to get used to. Through an inch out, I wanted to experiment with it. I saw a girl on TikTok named Coco Blake. She does designs in her buzz cut, and so I wanted to do that. I was like, I want to be cool like that. What the heck? Got like pink hair dye. We were gonna do the whole 9 yards, and then I went to dye it pink, and then my hair turned orange. Yeah, she turned orange, and we cut it even shorter so the design could go on. I was devastated. Oh my gosh. I literally look like Pepper from American Horror Story. I'll insert a picture here. It was not it. I was serving and I wouldn't be dining again. That was like the most unattractive I've ever felt in my whole entire life. Before I knew it, my hair grew out. It's like this. It just sticks up and it doesn't fall back yet because I guess it's not ready to yet. So I just gelled it back, but I'll try to insert a picture here, but it's much longer now. So never felt like this comfortable within myself because now I don't just rely on my looks to serve me as a person. Lost reliability on my hair to make me feel beautiful, and because I don't have anything to hide behind anymore and it's literally just me that you're seeing. Insecurity is the size of my ears, and what stopped me so many years from doing it was because of my ears, and now I don't even think twice about them. And I used to think about my ears all the time, like every 2 seconds, which seems like such a silly thing to say. Now I'm not insecure about it at all. Like I fully embrace them and I don't see a problem with them anymore. I feel like I gave myself the opportunity to discover myself and my personality. Instead of like spending time on the vanity portion of myself, I was able to take that time and invest it back into myself. So I'm gonna segue that into the next topic, which is self-care. I was watching this one YouTuber's video. I'm pretty sure her channel is called Where I Live. I'll try to insert a picture here. She did a video all about self-care and I really resonated with it. She said self-care is investing back into yourself, and I was like, whoo! Amen to that, sister. Self-care is not only doing something for yourself on the outside to make you feel better on the inside. It's also about finding yourself spiritually, seeing what serves you and what doesn't. Yes, there's one certain definition of what self-care is, but each person has their own unique version of it. Separating myself from what I've been conditioned to believe ever since I was little and just ask myself, what do I want? So that's what self-care is for me. Other people, it might be face masks, doing skincare, which is the more like vanity portion of self-care, or for someone else it might be working out, making sure they're the healthiest they've ever been. Another person, it may be like being as creative as they can be. Everyone has a different definition. I think there's a healthy balance between working on your external appearance for self-care and internal. Make sure you're serving yourself in both ways. And one thing that I've learned since shaving my head is how little I care about people's opinions now. When I first did it, I wanted validation and I wanted people to reassure me that this was the right decision. Like, that's what I wanted. But when I really asked myself, why did I even do this in the first place, I found myself relying on people's validation way less, just because I did something so extreme and something so bold that I never thought I would actually do. And I kind of segue into the next topic, which is social media. I've had a really complicated relationship with social media and what it means to me. I got Instagram and Snapchat and all that when I think I was in 7th grade. I found myself posting things on my spam account or on my Instagram account to get a reaction out of people. Not like a negative reaction or anything like that. I just wanted feedback and I wanted that constant reassurance and validation through people's opinions. So comes through me. It comes in a form in social media by taking polls on Instagram. Yes or no, should I do this? Yes or no? And I found myself not being able to make decisions for myself without having someone else's validation behind it. And I asked myself, I was like, what was the last time you did something for you without anyone else's presence, like in the back of your mind, or anyone else's opinions telling you what they think about that decision? When was the last time you did something for yourself? And when I asked myself that and I couldn't give myself an answer to that question, I knew there was a problem. Took about a 3-week break from Instagram and Snapchat. I kept Twitter, and I felt a huge difference. At first, it was really hard for me to find things to do with my time. I found myself wanting to go back and like connect with people. Off of social media, I developed healthy habits for myself, which, like I mentioned before, was meditating and journaling. Yes, you can be in your room alone with your phone, but when you're on Instagram, you're never really alone. Which I think is why people gravitate towards social media so much, because they don't feel alone. And for me, what I needed to be was alone, because I feel like I was losing myself in like a sea of TikToks and Instagram influencers, and it was just like too much for me. Like, I feel like I couldn't even breathe. And I've talked with my friends, and a lot of them said they have like anxiety when they're on social media, and it was just rough. I got to do so many things that I used to love again, like reading, and I feel like school and the education system really ruined reading for me, and I know that's the case for a lot of people, because we're forced to read books and then we're forced to spit out content from those books instead of just simply enjoying them. So I gave it a shot again. I started reading, and I love reading now. I'm reading Misery by Stephen King right now, and It by Stephen King, and Little Women. So like, now I have so many more valuable things to do with my time. I can connect with myself more, my family, and all these things. And then I went back on social media after 3 weeks. And so I was back on it for 2 weeks, and it felt really weird. I went back, and I was just like, why? Like, why? Like, why are we doing this? Like, why? What I found for me personally, I was posing and wanting to put content that made myself in the best light as if it was my job, because Instagram models, influencers, models in general get paid, this is their job, to post pictures of themselves. But I feel like we took that as, in order for us to feel beautiful, we need people to tell us we are beautiful. So I will pose and pose and pose and post pictures until I look like one of those models, or until people tell me I look like one, and then I'll feel validated for what? Maybe 5 days, and then you go and take more, and it's the same cycle again and again. And I'm not judging you if you do this at all, but for me personally, I would go and take pictures with my sister as a form of quality bonding time, when we could have been having intellectual conversations about what's going on in the world, how we are doing. We could have been talking about that, but instead I spent 2 hours taking pictures, and if they didn't turn out, I would get so upset. I would feel so insecure and be like, oh, I don't look good, and I would want to cry, and I think that's like ridiculous. Like, you're taking pictures of yourself for people's validation, and when it doesn't turn out right, like, you get upset. And I was like, that was kind of like my aha moment. I was like, what are you doing? I was like, you are allowing yourself to be controlled emotionally by social media, and this is not the case for everyone. I literally posted a picture of myself 2 days ago before I deleted social media again, and I think it's wonderful if you truly love yourself and you're not looking for that validation, but if you find yourself doing it solely for people to tell you you look beautiful or to prove something to yourself, then I think something's not right. I didn't want to allow myself to be in an environment where I felt like being insecure was a way to fit in. Disclaimer, I'm not judging anyone if you have social media or you post pictures. This is not everyone's relationship with it. I'm just speaking for myself. Yeah, that was basically a big ranting video. Hope you got something from it. Maybe this helped. I'm just gonna vibe. And I literally said in my room tour, I'm not gonna change my room anymore. Get a whole movie poster wall, sis. If you want a video on that, I'll do that next. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Love you guys. Bye.